got to kick it off with a killer to grab attention. Then you got to take it up a notch.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us.
Who are you? I'm Shiva, the god of death.
Cells. Interlinked.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
Folks, welcome to Debaser, a film podcast. I'm Jared Rusk, and I'm joined by my co-host, Will.
Borgang.
On this show, we explore both new and familiar movies as we attempt to analyze and interpret them, all in an effort to debase the films and ourselves.
Borgang. Gang. Bor.
Odd Future Wolfgang killed them all?
Yeah, I actually do want to ask you about that when we get into...
Just ask me now.
So what is that?
It was a rap group.
Odd Future was.
Odd Future, yeah.
Okay, but
abbreviated as Odd Future, but their full name was Odd Future Wolfgang Killed Them All.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They still sell clothes and stickers with their logo and the name on it.
Yeah.
But it was Tyler the Creator, Earl Sweatshirt, Frank Ocean was in there.
Okay.
Haji Beats. It's like 20 people. I can't remember everybody off the top of my head, but
Tyler the Creator.
Where Tyler the Creator and Frank Ocean and Earl Sweatshirt came from. They have all become huge names.
Tyler the Creator has definitely seen the movie that we're talking about today, and so there is a possibility
absolutely
that it is a reference to that.
I wonder.
Anyways,
we're not here to talk about Odd Future.
No, we're not.
An amazing rap group from the early 2010s.
Sure.
But we're not here to talk about Odd Future. We're here to talk about Princess Mononoke, our first Miyazaki film.
Yeah, hopefully not our last one.
No, absolutely not. So earlier you asked me off pod.
Yes.
Which Miyazaki films I've seen.
Correct. Yes.
And I told you to save it.
And I have since saved it until right this moment.
So I know for sure I have seen Howl's Moving Castle.
Of course.
My Neighbor Totoro.
Yes.
Totoro,
yeah.
Totoro. I don't think I've seen Spirited Away.
Okay. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah. I've seen this one.
Yes. This is
Princess Mononoke.
It's the first time you've seen this one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you've never seen Princess Mononoke.
Right.
Okay,
never seen it before this episode.
Yeah.
And I've seen my favorite so far of his, Porco Rosso.
Haley's going to kill you.
Why?
She fucking hates Porco Rosso.
It's amazing.
Dude. Oh, man. I cannot wait for this episode to come out. I'm not even going to tell her.
I love that movie. I've seen it twice now.
Okay.
It's great. It's so fun.
I don't know anything about it. I've never watched it because she does not like that movie. Yes.
Oh, we're watching it for the pod. And Haley, you are welcome to come on and yell at me about it.
I think she'll take you up on that.
That would be fun, legitimately. Yeah. How did you come to this film?
So actually, this movie has was a flashpoint in Haley and Mai's relationship.
Oh, really?
So I want to say it was either her or her sister had a poster for Princess Mononoke that was done in the style of A New Hope, the Star Wars movie, where it had Ashitaka with the sword above his head. It could have also been, because I know Tenchi Muyo had a similar poster, but I think that when they brought Princess Mononoke over to the States, they had a poster that was similar to A New Hope, right?
It doesn't feel fitting to the film, but
I don't know.
Miramax did some weird things when they brought this over.
It's true.
We'll go over that later.
Right. And so when me and Haley were talking about like the different animes that we've seen and whatnot, but anyways, we were talking about those and she's like, well, have you seen any Ghibli movies? I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that means, right?
Jiggling?
Ghibli. Yeah, jiggling. I don't feel comfortable telling you this, a month into our relationship. But anyways, so, she asked me and I couldn't think of, I have no idea what she was talking about. And she's like, like Spirited Away and Kiki's Delivery Service. And I was like, oh, well, I've seen like bits and pieces of Kiki's because they used to play it on Cartoon Network. They did like a couple of Ghibli films, right? Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, I think that this one would probably be something you would be interested in. And it was Princess Mononoke. She's like, she knew that I liked violence because what 17-year-old boy doesn't? Mm-hmm. And she's like, yeah, this is definitely the most violent of the Hayao Miyazaki's films. Mm-hmm. So let's check this one out. And I immediately fell in love with it. I thought the animation was really well done. The fact that Ashitaka like obliterates people with arrows is wild, and it's done so well. It's like so cool, you know.
Right.
And this is my favorite Ghibli film, and then this is what cascaded into me seeing like a bunch of different other ones. So I've also seen My Neighbor Totoro, I've seen Howl's Moving Castle, I've seen Spirited Away, I've seen Kiki's Delivery Service, I've seen The Cat's Return. I saw the other film that's tied into that one, but I can't remember what it's called, but it's about two musicians. It's really beautiful. It's like a love story between two kids who are becoming musicians, and they're staying in the same house over the summer to like, I guess, learn or, you know, study up before they go off. And it's really beautiful. I've seen The Secret of Arrietty, As the Wind Rises, and there was like one other one, but it was done by his son. This was like after Miyazaki announced that he was retiring, before he came out of retirement.
Well, he's done that like 10 times.
Yes, I know.
In fact, this was like his second on Mononoke. It was like his second or third. Like,
Jesus.
This is my last one, you know?
Yeah, I did he had his son direct one, and it was not good. It was very bad.
And if the people listening aren't aware, Miyazaki has a odd relationship with his son.
Does he?
Who is also another animation director. Yeah, it was documented in the documentary. The name of it escapes me, but there's a famous documentary about Miyazaki that follows him around.
Yeah,
and there's a famous scene that gets memed to death on social media, where Miyazaki has just watched a screening of one of his son's new films.
I've seen this documentary.
Yeah, and he is so angry with it.
Yep.
He is like so frustrated.
Yep.
And he's like very open about how he doesn't think his son is a good director. And in fact, since that, like somewhat recently, I want to say it was just a few months ago, he announced that he is not handing off the reins of Ghibli to his son, but to a different company entirely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. I feel bad for him, but like, unfortunately, he's not his dad, which is unfortunate. But to round it all off, the last two, Nausicaa, which we've talked about a little bit, and Grave of the Fireflies, which we also have talked about a little bit. But those are the movies. I've seen a bunch of his films.
And some of the ones you've named are Studio Ghibli films, but not necessarily directed by Hayao Miyazaki.
Yes.
Which I should say, I'm going to get into like a definition of this for those that don't know who this is and you're listening and you're a little lost maybe. But anyone that knows like Japanese animation has heard of Miyazaki typically, because he is like the Walt Disney of Japanese anime.
That's
to put it, to be reductive, but that's essentially what it is. And there's a reason why Disney owns the U.S. distribution rights to nearly all of their films, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, Ponyo. I forgot Ponyo.
Ponyo.
Saw Ponyo in theaters.
Ponyo loves ham.
Ponyo does love ham.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
So we're covering Princess Mononoke today. The film was released in 1997 in Japan and was later brought to the U.S. in 1999. Yes, it took 2 years to
localize it.
Yes, thank you. And this was done by Neil Gaiman, by the way. Did you know this?
Really?
Yeah, when Miramax bought the U.S. distribution
the Sandman guy.
Yes. Well, he writes a lot of screenplays.
Sure.
But yeah, they brought on. Apparently, they at first wanted Quentin Tarantino, and he turned it down. I read. I hope that isn't true, but I read that.
That's fucking awesome.
So then they went to Neil Gaiman, and he was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll take a stab." And he really just tried to make, because there's a lot of words in the film that don't necessarily directly translate.
Yeah,
things for
typical.
like forest spirits and like samurais and stuff like that, and daimos. So he just like made them into approximations that like Westerners would understand more easily too. But it did alter the script a little bit.
Did it?
Yeah.
Did you watch it in English or did you watch it in Japanese?
I watched it in English.
So
and I feel like ashamed
to
say that. And especially when I found out later that the Japanese version, the subtitled version, actually is a bit different. And I'll come clean. I meant to watch that version before we recorded. I just ran out of time.
It's okay, dude. I watched it in English straight up. I clocked on for work.
Well, you've seen it more than once.
I've seen it 7 times.
Always in English, though?
Always in English,
God
every single time. Yeah.
I thought for sure you would have the context.
Nah, man. I was shown it in English. That's the only version that exists to me.
So which English dub did you see? Was it the one with, Keith David and Gillian Anderson and
I'm going to assume it's that one.
Okay. Because there was a different one. and it was less localized, I should say. It was more of a direct translation.
Yeah.
But it was done with like a lot of actors that, not of high caliber,
I
let's say.
voice actors.
Right. And so when Disney got a hold of the rights, they went and did the redub.
I think
with,
it's
some
the Disney one because it's the
Yeah.
one that has Bender.
John DiMaggio.
John DiMaggio,
Right.
yeah.
As a few.
He's a couple of voices,
couple
but
of
he's
characters,
prominent as Lady Oboshi's right-hand man.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the definitive English cut, Billy Crudup. I've always said Crudup, but I heard Crudup earlier today.
Don't know, man.
Anyway, yeah, he's the main character, Ashitaka. Billy Bob Thornton is Jigo.
That's fucking right.
Yeah, I have some things to say about that.
Billy Bob Thornton or Jigo?
Billy Bob Thornton.
Okay.
He is really mailing it in this movie.
Oh, dude. Yeah, absolutely. But
I have
yeah.
really nice things to say about most of the English voice cast.
Sure. Except for
But
him.
Billy Bob Thornton is a real dog shit performance in this movie. I mean, just dog shit. I can't stress that enough.
I love that he's always almost running out of breath in every single sentence because he's trying to talk really fast to match the lips.
And see, I can't tell if it's a take on the character or if it's he just doesn't give a shit.
I think he doesn't give a shit.
But that's the thing.
You telling me we gotta do a thing about animated movies?
But Billy Bob Thornton can kind of ride that line. You know what I mean? Like he's got
Sure.
performances where they're like, I don't know. I don't know the guy, but it was jarring to me how odd his performance was. And
Sure.
it really took me out of the movie every single time.
Yeah.
Minnie Driver is Lady Eboshi. John DiMaggio is Gonza and a few other people, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
Like miscellaneous characters.
Mhm.
Claire Danes is San.
Son.
And Jada Pinkett Smith is Toki. Oh, but also, I forgot two more. Gillian Anderson is Moro, the wolf.
Yes.
And Keith David. Keith motherfucking David.
Is Ototoko or Otoko?
Is that the boar?
The boar.
And he's also the narrator.
Oh, fuck. I
He
didn't
is-
catch that.
And I think he's also miscellaneous voices.
Yeah.
But he is, well, he's the narrator, so he's the
Mhm.
first person we hear. And he's also the boar god later.
You know what's crazy?
And he fucking kills
hold on.
it. Him and Gillian Anderson are the fucking best in this.
Otoko is not the boar god. Otoko is just the leader of the boars. The boar god is Nago. He's the one that dies in the beginning of the movie.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
No, but it's okay. Easy to mistake them both.
He is the leader.
He's the
later
leader. He's the blind one.
that ends up going,
Yes.
gets cursed
Yes.
to, it's so
Yeah,
good.
it's
and,
very
and his performance of him like losing his mind
It's fucking great.
as he's charging at the fort. Oh, it's
Yes.
so good.
It's fantastic. You
Yeah.
know what's really funny is when I was listening to that, I was like, I know for a fact this isn't Lance Reddick, but it's the guy who sounds just like Lance Reddick. And it's Keith David. I get them. Jared, I'm going to tell you straight up. I get those two mixed up every fucking time that neither of them are on screen. I'm dead serious. I thought
They
that
don't sound anything alike to
they
me.
do to me. So
Keith David is replacing Lance Reddick in Destiny, though.
yeah,
by the
I
way.
know he is
Okay.
because they fucking sound the same. Dude, do not get me
Lance
riled up.
Reddick has a non-American accent, though.
I know, but here's
I
the
can't
thing.
place it, but it's
Here's the thing, right? So Lance Reddick does the voice for Thordak, the big dragon in the Critical Role show, right?
okay.
I was like, oh, that's Captain Anderson. I know for a fucking fact Captain Anderson is Keith David and not Lance Reddick. Captain Anderson from fucking Mass Effect. He's Keith David, is he not?
I don't know, but I do know that Keith David is a character in, I think it's Saints Row 3
Uh-huh.
and in a like game length parody of Mass Effect, and you can even like date him, and when you try to romance him, he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Hold on, I'm looking it up
Okay.
right now. And I gotta say, tell everybody who's listening, I'm currently laying in a bed.
We've had some
our
changes to the Debaser studio. It is now
Captain Anderson is Keith David.
okay. The Debaser studio was formerly an office, and now it is a guest room / office.
And I'm laying
Due
in
to
the
some
bed.
complications that will become clear in the future.
Yes. And I'm so comfy, so I can actually look at my phone and talk at the exact same time. It's the shit. But I'm so sorry to have
Yeah, and in case
diverged
listeners have
us.
noticed that Will sounds a lot more relaxed than
Yeah.
normal.
Dude, I'm so comfy. It's great.
I feel like a therapist because I'm the one sitting in a chair talking to you, and you're just laying down telling me your thoughts.
So, Will, I need you to tell me, why don't you like fun?
Did Dario Argento hurt you when you were younger?
But yeah, Keith David is a fucking standout
He's so
in
good.
this movie.
I really think Gillian Anderson, Scully from the X-Files.
Yeah, she does do a really good
is
Morrow.
So
Yeah.
good. And like they're doing like an effect on her voice too.
Yeah,
but
it's a reverberation because it's like it's a spirit
Right.
that is
She's supposed to
speaking.
sound otherworldly,
Ethereal.
but it's so good.
Yeah.
So Princess Mononoke was written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki, and the English cut has additional writing by Neil Gaiman. As I mentioned, he did some of the localization.
Right.
Hayao Miyazaki, for those not familiar, is a legendary Japanese animation director. He's worked in the industry since 1963, and Miyazaki is a household name, essentially internationally, that stands for quality and beauty in Japanese animated films. His films include My Neighbor Totoro, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, and Kiki's Delivery Service, to name a few.
Mm-hmm.
Princess Mononoke's budget was $23.5 million.
Okay.
That's 2.35 billion yen.
What
So you know that
what did it earn?
it. So the box office gross
Mhm.
number that I found
Yes.
was a total as of 2021.
Oh, okay.
Because
That's
it-
going to be skewed then.
Right. And it's because it's had revival screenings.
Yeah.
And I feel like every time I go to our Cinemark theater here,
they're always
got
like, we're going to have,
we're airing different like Ghibli movies throughout the year. And but it has grossed $194 million.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah. It's definitely earned its money back. I feel like Ghibli movies always do.
Well, yeah, because like it's got such a name. You know exactly what you're going to get if
Yeah.
you go to a Ghibli film.
Yeah.
You're going to see all of the same faces you love to see. You're going to see old woman number 1 and old woman number 2. You're going to see.
I didn't know this. They had stock characters.
Bro, hold on, Jared. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Watch a couple of Ghibli films all in one sitting,
Yeah.
like an all in one day.
I probably will pretty soon.
You will, yeah, I know. You will recognize he has specific faces that he falls back on for
Yeah.
certain characters.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I forgot there was a fucking witch one.
It's not like Akira where a lot of people have same face and that.
No, everybody has a different face,
Okay.
but you can take those faces and you put them in another film, and then you change the roles a little bit.
Yeah.
But like he recycles faces.
Right. I feel like that is a thing in anime.
Sure.
And even Ghibli films, which are a bit more prestigious than traditional animation or anime, I guess,
Mhm.
where, you know, it has like a cheap effect where they're reusing cells or backgrounds and things, or, you know, like maybe the background is static, but it's just the characters that move, like things like that. But Ghibli films are always
No, there's a constant motion. Everything is in motion.
Yeah, they're a big step above that. And
Yeah.
everything about it is just breathtaking to look at.
Yeah.
You know, and this film is no exception to that.
I'm just saying,
It's wonderful.
you've seen one old short lady with the
Okay.
long nose.
I'll
You've
keep an eye
seen
out for that.
a ton of them.
Yeah.
In all of his films. They're everywhere.
So I have a summary.
Sure.
I'm trying something a little different today.
Oh, okay.
I tried to do a 5-sentence summary,
Okay.
fell short of that.
All right.
I can't constrain myself
It's
like
okay.
that. I got to
No, it's
break
fine,
free.
dude. Hey, you've got a love for the art, man. You got to express it.
I know.
Holy fuck. Do you have 2 pages?
That's not the summary.
Oh.
Sorry.
I try to condense it into 5 sentences. 2 pages later.
No, I used to do like 2-3 page summaries, and I feel like that detracts from our actual discussions. So
Okay, that's
I'm
fine.
trying to,
Let's try it out.
because anyone can just go on IMDb or Wikipedia and just read the summary.
Right, but I feel like you're writing from memory too. You're writing the things that you remember seeing and
Well,
whatnot.
memory, and I'll look it up. Like, okay, what happened here too? You know,
Sure, yeah.
And then I'll be like, well, and sometimes I'll look up a summary and it's wrong.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes.
And I'll be like, that didn't happen actually. Okay. So Princess Mononoke. In the late Middle Ages in Japan, a small village is attacked by a large boar demon, which is eventually defeated by the village prince Ashitaka. During the fight, however, Ashitaka is wounded and cursed, which leads to him being ostracized from the village. Ashitaka journeys west to attempt to find a cure to his curse and discovers Irontown, an industrialized village that is rapidly expanding and fighting against the literal forces of nature they are pushing up against, embodied in the spirits of wolves and boars, which are led by a human woman named San that has forsaken human civilization. That was a run-on sentence. Sorry.
That's okay.
Ashitaka is smitten with San and attempts to prevent further violence between the humans and the spirits of nature, but is ultimately unsuccessful as a large battle erupts and the sacred forest spirit is decapitated by the humans in a greedy pursuit of immortality. The forest spirit swells across the land and threatens to destroy everyone until Ashitaka and San manage to return the spirit's head to its body. Returning the head restores the land and removes Ashitaka's curse. I keep saying San, don't I?
No, you said San. You said San.
I did? Okay.
Yeah.
San and Ashitaka depart, but promise to visit each other. The final scene depicts nature regrowing after being destroyed from the final battle.
But the spirit of the forest is no longer there.
No, there's one Kodama that
that does
in.
show up. That's true.
Yep,
That's
just
true.
one.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot Kodama Gang, dude. And Ape Gang. Ape Gang, baby.
Ape Gang's pretty cool.
Ape Gang is fucking cool as shit.
So explain what you're talking about, though.
Okay, so there are 3 different elements of nature that are presented that all fight against human incursion. Right? There's Boar Gang. Boar Gang is concerned about their intelligence as the forest starts to be encroached upon and destroyed. Their intelligence starts to become dumb. They have lost their god. Their god is the boar Nago, who has been corrupted and turned into a demon
And gets killed at the beginning of the movie.
And so their whole conflict with humans is life itself. They're concerned about their their preservation, because they know that they're going to become prey animals, right? So that's,
I think they even mentioned that their numbers are dwindling already.
yeah. So that's Boar Gang. Boar Gang's I'm with Boar Gang. Boar Gang is ecoterrorism. And then there's Wolf Gang. Wolf Gang is Moro. She is another guardian of the forest. She is a giant wolf. She's got 2 tails. And she's got 2 kids, and I can't remember the kids' names, unfortunately.
Sorry, I can't help. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoops. My bad.
It's okay.
And then she's got San, and I believe that San was whisked away as a baby. Yeah, she was.
I remember.
Yeah, she was given up, but apparently she's like the movie's namesake, Princess Mononoke, is given to San. Lady Eboshi talks about. That's Princess Mononoke. She, what you call it?
I've got
the whole thing. Okay, cool.
I've got a bit on this.
Well, anyways,
okay.
but Wolfgang is the aggressive nature of nature.
Mm-hmm.
They are vengeance. They are Batman. They go and they aren't just a brutal cudgel to be smashed against human lines. They are precision strikes. They are terrorism.
Yeah.
So they're also eco-terrorists, but in a different way. And then we got Ape Gang. Ape Gang is the intelligence of the forest. They don't do violent acts in order to.
I don't think we ever see them attack the humans, but they want to.
They want to.
Yeah.
They know that conflict breeds more destruction. So instead of bringing conflict to people, they replant the forest as the humans destroy it, and they get shot at a bunch. But Ape Gang,
the humans take pot shots at them at night
Yeah.
to stop them from replanting the trees.
Ape Gang is they're like Greenpeace.
Yeah.
Ape Gang's cool. We fuck with Ape Gang. And then that's it. I mean, like, those are the 3 elements of nature: the preservation, the wild unpredictability of it, and also whatchamacallit, the how do you say, the wanting and need of not becoming prey, I guess. Not, whatever.
Yeah.
We're just convoluted there.
You asked me.
What gang, man?
I guess I'm Wolfgang.
Wolfgang. Puck.
But I have a lot of sympathy for the Boar Gang.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
They're leaderless. Their best leader is blind.
It's so sad what's happening to them. And even the wolves in San remark on this where they're just like, oh no, like they're just so, they're blinded by fear and rage now that they're just going to throw themselves at the humans and get destroyed. And it's like there's no point in it. It's too late now, essentially, that kind of thing. It is a very, understandable and empathetic position to have. What's so interesting about this movie, though, is it's not black and white.
No.
So
Yeah.
Lady Eboshi, who is in charge of Irontown,
Yes.
is a surprisingly sympathetic character.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yes, she is an industrialist and has really no care for nature or any of the spirits that are, literal spirits of nature that exist and that she's fighting against. But she is like very progressive for a leader.
She's super
in her
industrious.
time. Yeah, she's employed lepers to help build guns. She has essentially an all-woman army, right?
She has an all-woman workforce and an all-male army,
who
but
also are trained to fight.
To fight, yes.
And it's because she wants to eventually have an all-woman army. That's why
Yes.
she's building the guns and making them lighter and lighter.
Exactly.
And
She's looking to give liberation to society's
Right.
outcasts.
Oh, and specifically, the women that she's hired are all sex workers.
Yep.
I
Brothel. Yeah.
They're
They
from
were found from brothels. Yeah.
They don't use the word sex
No, they
worker,
don't.
but they say they're from brothels, I think.
Well, this was done in 97. So
Right, absolutely, yeah. And then she has like women doing the equal jobs as the men, essentially.
Mhm.
She's employing lepers, and like even the lepers, when they speak to Ashitaka, they make a big point of like no one would do this for us. Like she's nice to us and employs us.
There was that really cool. How do you say it? Wasn't a monologue, but it was like a short conversation by this one leper who's, his eyes are bandaged. He's basically become just like a person who lays there. He says like existing is
the one
painful.
that's so sick he's just laying there.
I think his name's
essentially.
Osa.
Yeah.
I think. And he talks about what this person has done for them and how good it is for them to have a purpose that makes, fuck man, I wish I had written down what he was saying, but that one part of the film is just it's really cool.
Yeah.
I dug the different angles of perspective that were being shown for this film, because for one, I think that nature should be preserved, and nature is important. The natural order of things is important, but I also understand that we humans, we have a right to exist as well. We have the means to be comfortable. We have the means to bend nature to our will. And so why don't we? It shouldn't be at the cost of nature and natural resources, but unfortunately it is.
Yeah.
And it's just really neat little things that are being played with in this movie.
Yeah. So you say that. Well, I'm going to get into it in a minute. I got a couple other things I want to hit on before I really get into
I want to get into the themes of the movie because I've seen this movie so many fucking times.
Yeah.
So
when Harvey Weinstein,
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He ran Miramax.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Who, hey, if you don't know,
look him up.
why we're exasperated about him, please Google him. If you remember the Me Too movement, it had a lot to do with him. So when Harvey Weinstein obtained the North American distribution rights to Princess Mononoke, he approached director Hayao Miyazaki and insisted on a shorter version of the film that would be better attuned to American audiences. Because this is an extremely long film, especially for animation.
2 hours and 13 minutes.
14 minutes. It is the fourth longest animated film ever, I believe.
God damn, are you serious?
Yeah. Well, because it's so expensive to make an animated film that long.
After Akira?
And they're made for
because I know Akira was
children
like 2 hours long.
who have short attention spans, as it is. So that's the thing.
Princess Mononoke was not made for children.
It's both. It's all audiences, I would argue.
2 men get decapitated in this film.
I understand. It's like his roughest movie as far as like violence, but yeah. So Harvey Weinstein approached Miyazaki about cutting the film down. And Miyazaki was so upset by the heavily cut version of Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind from 1984, which was later released as Warriors of the Wind in America, that he angrily left the meeting. And I've told a version of the story before.
You did.
But I'm going to keep going.
Inserted it in the... What was the movie?
I told the story and then I inserted a thing where I was
right,
like,
because I was correct.
Reader, this is true. Yeah, because I double checked it and I was right.
That's awesome.
But anyway, several days later, Studio Ghibli producer Toshio Suzuki sent a katana sword to Weinstein's office with the words "No cuts" engraved on its blade. The film was later released in the USA in its uncut version. When asked about the incident in an interview, Miyazaki simply smiled and said, "I defeated him."
That's awesome.
I know. It's such a good story.
So it wasn't Zandatsu, cut what you will. It was like the opposite of Zandatsu.
Exactly.
Oh, shit, dude.
Director Hayao Miyazaki personally corrected or redrew more than 80,000 of the film's 144,000
Jesus
animation cells.
fucking Christ.
Yes. Apparently, this was also the last animated film to be drawn on plastic cells.
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then you mentioned how San is referred to as Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, because
the
it's like a throwaway.
title of the film.
It's not a throwaway line, but it's like a. It happened. Lady Oboshi's talking like what the first 35 minutes,
and you could totally miss it. Yeah,
it's never referenced ever again because they all call her San after that.
So first, San is her parents were being chased by the wolf. What's her name? Moro. And because they're so afraid of the wolf, they offer up their child.
Yes.
To spare their own lives.
Yeah.
And Moro is so taken aback by this, she decides to raise a child as her own, and that's how San becomes essentially like one with nature and no longer human. She has forsaken her humanity. But Mononoke in Japanese means angry or vengeful spirit. Hime, I think Hime is the Japanese honorific word that means princess, which in the rules of Japanese grammar is placed after a person's name instead of before, as is the custom in many Western languages.
Right.
When the film's title was translated into English, it was decided that Mononoke would be left as a name rather than translated literally. This also explains why Ashitaka mostly calls the princess by her real name San instead of Mononoke.
Gotcha.
So
it's Princess Vengeance. Or Vengeance Princess. That would have been fucking badass.
Yes, and a more fitting moniker, especially.
Oh, yeah.
The first time we see her try to kill Lady Eboshi, which fucking rules.
Dude.
It's a great introduction to that character.
All of the fights in this film are fucking badass.
Yes. The scene where she jumps into Irontown to assassinate Lady Eboshi is so good.
Yeah.
And Ashitaka keeps trying to intervene and like getting fucked up in the process, but it doesn't matter because he's like kind of a superhuman because of his curse now. It is so gripping.
Yeah.
I was enthralled. It was incredible.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I wanted her to kill Lady Eboshi.
Oh,
I really did.
So hold on, did you not have any sympathy for Lady Eboshi?
Do you not
see her plight?
The film is very good at being nuanced and showing how, for whatever reason, humanity cannot survive without growing and destroying nature. But also, like, this is at, nature is losing because of this, essentially, and it is embodied by literal spirits in this movie. But I don't care. Like,
you don't care. I've had this conversation multiple times because, and I also agree with the let fuck them all, let Irontown burn, let nature win. I get it. I'm there with you.
I was so upset by the end that I was like, this didn't need to happen. I feel like the film is too centrist, or at least the position the film takes is too
radical
centrist.
Centrism.
Yeah, because you could look at this as like environmentalism versus industrialism, or like even like a thread about climate change, maybe.
Sure.
And I can appreciate that both sides are nuanced in this, film.
Mm-hmm.
The film feels to me as if a single human life is more important than all of nature itself.
I mean,
you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Specifically Lady Eboshi, because if she was taken out at the beginning of the film when San attempted to assassinate her, would the rest of the events even have happened?
I think that there would have been a power vacuum, and because dude, when you have a community of people, who are outcasts, otherized, dehumanized, right, and they're all living together.
You mean Irontown specifically?
In Irontown,
and not
specifically.
Ashitaka's village,
and not Ashitaka's village, because you're talking about the first time Moro and the gang go after Lady Eboshi because they're walking the oxen across they're bringing rice to Irontown, right? Yeah. So if Moro had succeeded and killed Lady Eboshi right then and there, you're asking, would that have changed the events of things? And I don't believe so, because what I was saying is, when you have marginalized people living in a society very comfortably, given the same rights as everybody else, they're going to want to keep a hold of that. So someone's going to rise to power and do the exact same thing that she was doing. It's always going to happen.
You're right. And in fact, as I was saying that, I'm realizing we never see him depicted in the film, but who's the ruler
The Emperor.
The
'Cause
Emperor.
This is supposed to take place in 14th century Japan.
Right. And that's who Billy Bob Thornton's character is ultimately working for.
Jigo
We find out.
has him hired. Yeah, he's
Right.
hired the best hunters. And Jigo keeps referring to himself as a monk, which I don't believe that shit.
Oh,
for
it's a
fact.
disguise.
That man is a rogue ranger, multi-class.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's
I knew he was because it's Billy Bob Thornton's voice. Like I don't ever trust that fucker. But two, like B, because he's too uncanny. Like he's just too perceptive when we first meet him, and he's just like pointing out things that he's picking up on to Ashitaka.
Mhm.
I was like, this fucker's up to something. He's not just a
Yeah.
monk. But I digress. Ultimately the Emperor would have still had
gone after it.
people sent after the forest spirit to take his head.
Because
Yeah.
I think that's a representation of the shit that we do today.
Mhm.
You kill a rhino for its horn because for whatever reason it's an aphrodisiac, quote
Yeah,
unquote.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's always a mythical element to nature and animals.
Mhm.
You know, you're always going to have these legends of this piece of an animal is going to do something beneficial to you when it's all bullshit, right? So that's, I think, what the mission of Jigo is supposed to be representative of. You get the head of this spirit, forest spirit, you're gonna live forever, kind of thing. Comment, concern. Am I right? Am I wrong? Is there more?
You're right. Yeah, I realized as I was saying, like, just killing Lady Eboshi would have stopped it, but it felt like the largest instigator, and I was like, why doesn't she realize, like, she's fucking wrong about this? And I guess maybe by the end of the film, she comes to realize it, but at what cost? They have killed the forest spirit. They caused, like, so much destruction. They killed hundreds, if not thousands, of boars.
The ends justify the means is I think where she's getting at. I don't agree with her. Trust me.
Yeah.
I think that industrialization, all of the comforts that I have now, great, whatever. I wasn't there to make it happen or to stop it. Would I go back? Probably not. It would be nice to have some sort of way to have all the things that we have, but also not destroy the planet.
Right. With like things within reason. I think that's Ashitaka's position, is like within reason. Like, because he comes from a village that like seems to be,
they're not
in
industrialized.
harmony.
Yes.
Right. But they live in harmony with nature.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's why when they're being attacked by that boar spirit in the beginning, his first instinct is not to attack it.
No,
he runs up and he's like,
away.
hey, please calm down. Please don't attack us.
Yeah.
And when he realizes that, like, it's not going to stop it, that's when he decides, I have to fight it.
Right. But
they're kind of like that village too, real fast. They're kind of like, I got the impression they're like the Japanese version of Amish too.
No, they're dying out.
Because they've been ostracized from main society too.
You could say, they're like the Amish, but I think that their tribe was supposed to represent us, humanity, being tribal, and then that going away when we became industrial. When you were able to make accommodations for people, make comforts and better weapons of war. When you have those things and you want trade, that becomes road routes, and then those road routes connect people, and then a tribe is no longer a tribe, it is a city, kind of thing. A society gets larger. So I think that's what that's supposed to represent, and we only get like a very brief thing of it. We
don't learn
much
hardly
about
anything
them.
about that village.
They do live with nature, and I think that's what informs Ashitaka's
why he's more like, hey, we should live in harmony with nature and not necessarily just be destroying it wantonly, and not like
which blows my mind, because he goes to live in Irontown at the very end of the movie.
I know, but what does he say exactly? Do you remember like verbatim what he says? Because he says he's going to rebuild Irontown, but I think he either says like, we're going to rebuild it better, or we're going to I forget what he actually says. I can only paraphrase it.
I watched the movie 3.5 hours ago, and I cannot tell you what the fuck he says at the end of the movie.
Well, he refers to paraphrase what he says.
Yeah.
He says that like, I'm going to help rebuild Irontown, and I'm going to build it better.
He's going to build back better.
And God damn.
Leave it in.
No, that's staying. That's funny.
Good.
But you remember Be Best? I'm always saying that.
Yeah, Be Best. Fucking stupid.
It's Infrastructure Week, by the way, too, if you didn't know.
Oh, no, I didn't
It's still
know that.
Infrastructure Week. But I think the implication there is like he's going to teach them to be like, hey, we don't have to like clear cut forests anymore. Like you can just, because I feel like in general, Japanese society is kind of like that too, where they're more attuned with nature. Like when they build a neighborhood, they don't, like they do here where we're from.
Yeah.
They don't roll into a patch of land, completely decimate and flatten it, remove anything that exists, you know, living in any organic matter, completely level it, and then just start shoving in, you know, steel beams and pipes and wires. And I
have no idea what Japanese infrastructure is like. I have no idea how they plan stuff. But when I did go there,
right,
it definitely felt like they were more integrated with what was around them and whatnot. But I
feel like that's generally like, you know, it's how culture in Asia at large is kind of perceived anyway too. Mm-hmm. But it's like a Western thing to be like, oh, we have to just
obliterate
everything living.
I mean,
and just pour concrete.
You could literally look at the plot of land across from your fucking house.
That's what I'm talking about. It is rampant in Florida, and it drives me bananas. Yeah. I get so upset when I see it. Like, oh, that used to be woods.
Yeah.
And now it is a
storage facility.
Or
apartments.
God. And it is just no care was taken at all to integrate it into, you know, they've destroyed how many oak trees that are older than any of us alive today.
Yeah. Or how many turtle ponds.
How many endangered species, not even endangered, just animals that, you know, their habitats, period. Like they have just been wiped. There's no consideration given for relocating, moving them to habitats, anything like that.
I think that there's supposed to be like I'm almost positive Fish and Wildlife are supposed to actually like do that. To like,
I think if they find
a survey
protected species like gopher tortoises,
no, I think they do move. They're supposed to relocate stuff.
I want to think that they do.
Yeah, I mean, so do I.
But it's Florida.
Yeah, it certainly is.
There is like, of all the states, I feel like we have some of the you know,
the coolest,
loosest restrictions.
Yeah, maybe.
When it comes to especially stuff like that, you know,
probably
that's why you see these developments pop up everywhere in the state.
I don't know, man,
and it's why housing was so cheap here.
Not anymore, baby.
Yeah, the pandemic took care of that.
It's fucking rough.
Anyway, that's my rant about that.
What were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about Ashitaka's Build Back Better plan. Yeah. I mean, you can only hope. Yeah. And I think like the ending of the movie is difficult, right? Because supposedly they
I'm upset.
They lament on the fact that the forest spirit is dead, even though one of the Kodamas show up at the end, because those guys are supposed to be like the sprites of the forest and whatnot. They're like the living essence of the forest.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's been so much loss. No more wolf guarding the forest. No more boar. Being anything but prey animals. But Yakul still, lives. Yakul is still alive. It's the deer, the red deer.
That's right.
Rides. Got a little plush of him. I love Yakul.
Great character.
He's a super good character.
Loved him.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could say that San living in the forest does like represent some sort of spirit guardian,
right?
But she's not immortal.
I will say, I have major respect for the fact that they don't become a couple at the end.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was really impressed at the restraint of that. Not giving it like a Disney. Well,
ending.
That much of a Disney ending.
Well,
it kind of has a Disney ending where it's like we fucked up the forest and all the nature spirits. But everything's okay now.
I mean, it kind of like regrows back. That's the thing, is like a lot of the...
Right, it's implied that it's coming back, I guess.
Yeah, well, even like the barren wasteland that the ape gang is trying to constantly regrow stuff in immediately has growth in it.
Because ape gang is still alive, right?
Ape gang is still alive. Yeah. Ape gang is the only one that like doesn't get fucked up. They're just hanging out in the trees and shit.
Shout out to ape gang.
Dude, we
they
love
were so
guys.
creepy, and then when you see they're just apes,
they're just apes like, oh.
Because they're like shapeless creatures with red eyes for the first half of the movie.
That's because that's how the humans see them.
They're fucking terrifying.
I know, but like, isn't that a neat thing though? Is like that's how the humans see them, right? Because they see them as nothing but like malicious spirits that are out to, fix whatever they fucked up, right?
Right.
And then when you see them again, it's from the perspective of people who respect nature, and
That's right.
it's the
Holy
gorillas,
shit.
gorillas, dude.
Yeah.
They're just gourmillies.
That's why you're on this podcast, baby. For this beautiful insight.
For the symbology.
But yeah, I didn't even think of that. That's true, because it's when they're in the woods later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
I'm trying to think of like other, neat little talking points about this movie. Or do you have stuff?
I've got something I've been saving.
Oh, fuck yeah, let's go.
You might know this,
I might know this.
but I'm going to go into this.
All right, let's hear it.
To say that this film is beautiful is an understatement, okay? And this will be obvious to anyone familiar with both works. But Princess Mononoke is clearly the biggest inspiration for the art design of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Clear as day. Ashitaka's outfit, weapons, and even the steed, what's his name?
Yakul.
Yakul, are extremely similar to Link's design in the game.
Mm-hmm.
The environments are also incredibly similar. And even the Kodama, the cute little forest spirits.
Yeah, they've got the little acorn guys, right?
Yeah, the Koroks.
Koroks, that's right.
They're like little wood creatures with leaves for faces.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's the Pam from The Office meme where it's like corporate wants you to find the difference between these two pictures. Yeah.
It's the same picture.
Breath of the Wild has also been likened to, looking like a Miyazaki film because it has like not cell shaded graphics, but cell shade-esque. In fact, even one of Ganon's final forms at the end of the game, spoiler, but the game's like 6 years old now. One of his final forms is a giant boar when you fight him.
Yeah, but hasn't he always like turned into a boar? Because I remember
he's always kind of resembled one.
I think you already know this.
Yeah.
But I don't want to make you mad. I've never played all the way through a Legend of Zelda game. I don't have the
fucker,
and I don't have the fondness that everybody else has because I didn't grow up with it.
Well, you don't like fun. We've established this.
It's true. Anyways, in Super Smash Brothers, the one that brought out the Smash Ball and stuff, so everybody had specials and stuff. Ganon's ultimate form, he turns into a boar and destroys everybody on the thing, and that was before Breath of the Wild had come out.
Yeah.
So,
which Smash Bros was this?
This was 3.
Was that the Wii or the Wii U version?
That was the Wii.
The Wii one.
Yes.
That could have been Twilight Princess.
So he had some sort of
Is
boar
he a
thing.
boar in that? That whole game was a blur.
He turns
to me.
into a boar. He is not a boar, but he turns into one. And so
he's been a boar resembling creature before.
Yeah.
I think you were even one in Hyrule Warriors when you play as him.
Oh. Does he turns into one for his special?
No.
His Musamo?
That whole game is a blur to me too. I put like over 100
that
hours
game's fucking
into
crazy.
It.
It's actually really
and the
fun
sequel
too.
I really enjoyed
Yeah.
too. God damn. Anyway, yeah, Breath of the Wild clearly cribbing a lot from Princess Mononoke, and like for the best, like for the benefit of both things,
In the second game, there's that Pyrrha girl, who's like she's got like glasses
the
and
scientist,
stuff. Yeah, her coloration is very similar to Sans. The whites, the grays, and the reds.
Yeah, you're right.
But I don't know if that's a direct.
It's not an accident.
No,
you can Google screenshots of like.
Oh, for real?
Just type in Breath of the Wild Princess Mononoke, and you'll see people making comparisons.
Oh.
Till you're blue in the face. Yeah, it's so, and you can even ride a deer as a steed.
Oh, that's cool.
That looks just like
Yakul.
Yakul. Yeah,
I fucking love that guy.
Yeah,
dude, I was so happy that the thing did not fucking die in that movie.
Right,
he does get shot in the ass
when he gets hurt. Yeah, I was like, oh no, they're gonna do like the Shadow of the Colossus thing here. Yeah,
well, that horse doesn't die either.
That's right. He shows right back up. At the end with the girl.
Jared, I'm going to tell you straight up, when I lost that horse, I was fucking livid.
You beat that game and you've never beat a Zelda?
Yeah. Dead serious. And I've told you this before. I didn't grow up with it, man. I grew up poor.
When did you get Shadow of the Colossus? That was like 2004.
I got the remake.
Oh.
When I was an adult.
They've remade all the Zelda games multiple times.
I know, but I've never had any interest in playing them. I played Ocarina of Time, but I've gotten to the desert temple, and I couldn't.
The
Gerudo temple, and I couldn't fucking figure it out, and I was like, I'm done with this. I played on the 3DS.
Oh, that was a good remake.
That was a good remake. I really enjoyed it too. But
the final battle with Ganon in that is like really memorable too.
Great, fantastic. Anyways, Shadow of the Colossus fucking rules.
Yep, one of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
It's like in the canon for me for sure.
Yeah.
Did you do the PS4 remake too?
Yeah, it was. I played the remake. I did not play the original.
Oh, there was a time where I quit playing video games entirely, and for like a year or two.
That's right. You were telling me about this.
I just kind of went cold turkey for whatever reason.
And then you picked up the remake.
And then I just like had some allowance money, and then like PS2s were really cheap, and I just went out and picked up a PS2 Slim and Shadow of the Colossus because I was like, I keep reading this is like a really good game. And
it reawoken your love for video games, didn't it?
Oh my god, I was never the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
I also got a new TV for my birthday, and it was like my first non-CRT like tube TV.
Yeah. It was,
you know what I mean? It was like it was like
LCD.
a quote unquote flat screen.
Yeah.
But it was like an old LCD.
Right.
I don't even think it was widescreen, dude. But it was like
it got the
cheap.
job done.
It was a cheap TV.
Yeah.
We got it from Circuit City.
Nice.
Which RIP.
Sad.
Yeah.
Before we go like on a tangent of video games, because I've got some fond memories of portable TVs and whatnot too.
I'm getting so old. I'm like just ruminating on that.
Is there anything else about Princess Mononoke you want to talk about? Oh, I've been asking this question. You've dodged it every single time because whatchamacallit, you want to save it for the pod. And I totally respect that. Did you like this film?
Oh, I loved it.
Oh, fantastic! Because you've been dodging it, but Jared didn't like this movie.
It was a complicated answer I wanted to get into because I was so frustrated at the end.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I didn't like how it resolved.
No, I understand.
I was so mad that the forest spirit gets killed. Lady Eboshi seems to completely be like, I don't care. Like they both tell her like, hey, Irontown's being overrun, and like, please pull back. Like, don't do this.
Giga tunnel vision. Well, that's the
that's
the
she's
human
like,
ego.
whatever, they're fine.
No, that's the human ego.
Yeah,
we think we can conquer God.
Yeah,
and so with when given the chance to do it, would you not forsake everything to be the person who kills God?
No.
Maybe not you.
No,
and probably not me either.
But I get that, like. Maybe the point of the film is that this person is.
Yeah, it's
not necessarily me personally.
It's the spirit of humanity, bro. It's literally the ingenuity that has gotten us to this point in time.
Even someone like, what the film is saying is even somebody like Lady Eboshi, who is,
she's a capitalist.
She cares for her people.
Yeah.
But yet ultimately she's a fucking capitalist. That's why I feel like this movie's a little too centrist, because I felt like, what kind of resolution is this? Ashitaka did nothing but prevent either side from advancing, and then just the humans just end up decimating the spirits anyway. It's so frustrating.
Nah, I get it.
Because I felt like Ashitaka could have intervened or not have intervened and let San assassinate Lady Eboshi. But like you were saying earlier, like they would have just,
do power vacuums do crazy things, man.
Billy Bob Thornton would have just done it then or something.
Yeah.
Because like his elite team of boar impersonators.
Boar boys. Boar boys.
That shit was creepy too.
Fuck Boar Gang. Boar Gang assassinated, brought to you by Boar Boys. Yeah, that shit was pretty creepy.
When the human boar...
They gutted out. They gutted the boars. They gutted the boars literally like 20 minutes ago.
They're just running around in like their skins, it's so creepy.
Yeah,
and I was legitimately like I know we've established that these are people in their skins, but I was like legit freaked out.
Yeah,
for a while because Keith David is even just like possessed.
Oh yeah, dude.
As he's charging with them, I was like, "What is happening?"
Because he's lost himself. So many boars are dead, and they are more intelligent as a collective,
right?
So as the collective
they're
dies,
more of a hive mind.
They become stupider, and so he's literally feral at the end of the thing, and he's like getting a resurgence of confidence because the boar boys smell like Boar Gang, and so he's like, "Oh fuck, my boys are here! We're gonna win," but he can't see. Yeah,
man, what something I love about the Ghibli movies I've seen so far, or at least the Miyazaki movies.
Yeah.
You can't really, they're not predictable. You can't really, like, you can see the A plot and the B plot kind of thing, but like you can't predict how they're going to resolve necessarily.
You haven't seen Spirited Away, have you? You said you haven't seen Spirited Away?
No, I don't think so. No.
Bro, watch that one. You will never guess how the fucking movie ends. It's kind of, I mean, it's not wild, but it's definitely like what the fuck is going on? That's a lot of his films.
But like even Porco Rosso, I was so blown away that like he's an anti-hero. He's not like...
I think that's the reason why Haley didn't like it. And also she doesn't like boars or pigs, pig people.
Better a pig than a fascist.
I mean, I think that's the isn't that not the point?
That's the quote. It's,
Oh, is that really the quote?
He says it verbatim.
He says that? Oh my
It's such a
fucking
good
God.
quote. So shout out to Super Yaki, a t-shirt, maker and seller that I love. Check out superyaki.com.
Yeah.
Love them.
Sponsored? I'm just kidding. It's not sponsored.
I'm wearing a Super Yaki
Oh,
shirt right
that's
now.
what that's
That's
from.
right.
Okay, I was curious actually if that was
my Nicolas Cage and the Mandy font shirt is from Super Yaki.
Yeah.
I love them. They made a t-shirt that
t-shirt.
sold out instantly.
Oh,
I was so mad I couldn't get a copy. Yeah, but it was like Better a Pig Than a Fascist.
I
Yeah,
gotcha.
so good. Love that movie.
So one comment on the ending of this movie, because I know it doesn't feel like it feels straight down the middle. Like what the fuck? What's the point of all this shit?
Yeah,
I think that the movie is supposed to be like history adjacent, like because it's supposed to be set in the 14th century of Japan,
and it's like this is essentially the struggle of industrialization against nature and stuff. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I think that that this is how it is in history, and so this is how it shall be in this movie, which I think is interesting. He could have totally copped out and been like, the nature is healing. It's never going to be the same. Once we've gotten to a point, it's never going to be the same. And one other thing, because we did talk about how
just one more thing.
What was that a reference to?
Columbo.
I've never seen that.
I know no one has, because I'm so dejected about this because I went to a Halloween party last week as Columbo.
Yes. And nobody got it.
Nobody knew who it was. And every time we were like, oh, who are you supposed to be? And I was like, it's Columbo, the detective. And people were like, just nothing. I'm just like, yeah, sorry. It's
too highbrow.
You
gotta dumb it down.
Really famous detective show that aired in the 70s and 80s and even into the 90s. And
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
He's just like a rascally guy that presents himself as like, lower class and like just a little schlubby, but he always figures out. And so we watch the first half of the show will be like a super smart rich guy killing somebody and getting away with it. And then Columbo comes in and is just like, oh, I'm just so baffled by this. I don't know. We'll never figure this out. Okay. Oh, well. And then he's like, oh, one more thing. Did you kill your wife? And it's like, and he knows how you did it and where and everything. And it's so good. Anyway.
Nice. Well, what I was going to say is I forgot that the boars, or at least the infected part of the boars, I believe is supposed to be
rotted spaghetti.
Yeah, it's rotted spaghetti. No, I think it's supposed to be the representation of pollution and what it does to nature and how it always comes back to bite us in the ass.
1000%. Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad I got that out.
No, I'm glad you said it. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay.
We didn't go long on like,
Symbolism.
analyzing the symbolism of the film. The
symbology.
The debaser patented symbology.
Dude, if nobody's ever said it before, it's mine now. Symbolism. Anyways, I don't know. I thought all of this stuff was neat because like no matter what we do to nature's always going to conform around it, find a way to take what we give it and then give it right back.
That's what climate change is. It's going to get us all in the end. It's either going to burn us up or freeze us. I've seen different things. It's either going to raise temperatures so that most of the earth will be unlivable, or to counteract it, nature will react to the point where they lower temperature. They being nature. They them.
The royal they.
The royal they.
The original they.
Lower temperatures to counteract the effect of carbon emissions that is raising temperatures, and will actually end up freezing us out too. It could go both ways at this point. Yeah.
We got to do something about it. What we have to do? We have to what I was going to say is we have to go to our local church, put on our bomb jacket, and blow up the oil CEOs that are donating to the mega church. I will be first reformed.
What a good movie.
Dude, I think actually this is off pod, whatever. For our year, like us doing a year, we should revisit 3 or 4 of our favorite films from last year.
Oh, yeah.
And do like a real deep dive. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or like things that we didn't say that we wanted to say kind of thing. But I think that we covered First Reformed pretty well.
I'm glad you brought that up because for our year, actually, like in February, I guess.
Yeah.
I want to do Sorcerer finally.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah.
It's only 4 months away at this point.
Yeah, we're
3
getting
months
close.
away.
We're getting close.
I know. But yeah, I want to do Sorcerer.
Okay,
And just
fuck
like because it's the fucking poster.
It's literally the
we
fucking
haven't
picture.
done it yet.
No, we haven't.
Yeah. I had a few lined up that I was like, oh, we also have to make a big deal for Pacific Rim.
Oh yeah, dude. You let me know when we do Pacific Rim. I'm going to lose my fucking. I love that.
No,
movie.
that's a boys' night movie.
Yeah,
like
it
we're
is.
getting the hard Mountain Dews.
Yes,
we're getting in the living room together.
Yes, I'm
kids be damned,
dude. Fuck those kids, dude. Fuck them fucking kids. Anyways,
the wives got to take them out to Chuck E. Cheese or something.
Yeah. But yeah, I love this film. I'm glad that you liked it.
Yeah. No, it was. I was so engrossed.
Good.
Within 5 minutes, not even. I was just like, oh fuck, this is beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, dude, all the combat, like that's another thing that we kind of glazed over.
Mhm.
All the combat in this film is fucking awesome.
Yes.
Like Ashitaka,
It's shockingly violent for a
Ghibli
essentially
movie.
a children's film.
Yeah. Every time he uses his right arm that has been cursed
Yes.
with the vengeance of the forest, he pulls back a bowstring and lets loose an arrow, and it moves at super speed and obliterates people's arms.
Right, and it surprises even him the first few times he does it.
Yeah,
and yeah, he
takes a
just
man's
like
head off.
decapitates a guy.
Yeah.
Like a lot of arms get blown off in
Yep.
this movie. But it's done in a way too that like it's more violent than you're expecting, but it's still fairly tame and tasteful, which I appreciate about it too.
Yeah, it's not like overly gory.
Right, it's not trying to go for the gross out.
Mhm.
It is just showing how powerful the rage in that curse is. Essentially,
What was your favorite kill?
favorite kill?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not fresh enough in my mind,
Okay.
I guess.
My favorite
You
one.
have one.
I have one. I have one. I remember like as I'm watching it, it's the second time Ashitaka gets into an arrow fight with somebody.
Right.
They had just shot Yakul. And so he returned to senders the one arrow
Yeah.
and hits a guy, and then two
Yeah.
more dudes show up and he's like, fuck off.
This is near the end,
This is
right?
near the end. He's
Okay,
like,
yeah.
hey, you should leave. And one of them shoots an arrow at him, and he
Yeah.
fucking catches it, spins it around without changing his pose,
Yeah.
and blows a dude's head off. And the other guy is like, I'm gone. Goodbye.
That was great. You're
Dude,
right.
The return to sender fucking arrow is the coolest way to kill anybody ever. And god damn it, I love it. I think Legolas does it in one of the Lord of the Rings movies, doesn't he? He like catches an arrow and fucking sends it back. Or am I wrong?
Maybe that feels like something Legolas does.
Yeah.
My wife would know. But another great scene where someone returns not an arrow, but like a harpoon or a spear. The Northman.
Oh my fucking god! One of the coolest fucking return.
It's so good they put it in the trailer because we're gonna do the Northman one day.
Damn, I can't wait. I can't wait till we do the Northman, we do the Green Knight.
Yeah.
We're
gonna do just real sicko like modern cult classics. You know, Lighthouse.
Lighthouse. Oh, dude, I cannot wait to talk
Hereditary.
about the Lighthouse. We're gonna do Hereditary one day.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Of course we are.
Oh man, dude, what a great like 6 years of film that was.
Yeah.
God damn it, dude. He catches the spear.
Yeah.
And then he spins around and yeets it and kills a guy. It's so
I've
cool.
Tried every time I like try to sell somebody on that movie.
Yeah.
I describe
you
that
saw the
scene in detail, and I'm like, and then the next 10 minutes is just him like thoroughly pillaging a village. Like, it's so good.
it's real fucking Viking shit, man.
Yeah, like my heartbeat got so intense one moment watching it. I had to get up and walk out of the theater.
Did you? Oh, did you really?
Yeah, for real. I think you were there, right? You and Hannah
Yeah,
were there.
I was.
Yeah, I had to get up and walk out for a second
wild,
and just
man.
like pace to calm down. I was dealing with like
Yeah.
some real bad anxiety at the time
because
too.
it was COVID and whatnot, and
Yeah, I was
and
going through some stuff,
the
but
theater
like,
was fucking packed too.
yeah, and I had to, but my pulse was so
Yeah.
like excited from the movie that I had to like step outside
God
just
damn,
to calm
dude.
down for
That's
a
a good
second.
movie.
It was so good.
I fucking love that movie.
We're never going to get like a big budget, like wild ass movie like that again,
No.
are we? Yeah, that and Green Knight, just like, I think they both bombed and they're just not, we're not going to get another one.
Green Knight was so good,
It's-
and I hate that people did not like it.
Yeah. We both own the like super cool like book edition. And
That's right. Yeah.
so we threw all the money at it that we could. You know,
Yeah,
we
you
bought
can't do
tickets
anything
and we
else.
bought the physical edition, the fancy physical edition. I own 2 fancy physical editions of it. That's right.
You also have the don't you have the board game too?
because of you.
Yeah, we bought you the board
You
game. That's
bought it for me.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
We did literally throw as much money as we
Yep.
possibly could into that fucking
we
movie.
got to support Green Knight, baby. We love when David Lowery gets to go full sicko mode.
Yeah, dude. And Dev Patel did a great
Dev
fucking
Patel's
performance.
so
God
good.
damn it, it's a good ass movie.
Everybody's so good in that movie.
Yeah. Oh well. What it is what it is. You know the fucking dad from The Vitch is the Green Knight? Fuck,
Yep.
dude.
That's his voice. Yeah,
He's
it's
an
like
amazing actor.
Yeah.
Why does he get picked up for more stuff?
I don't know.
He's so good.
He's great.
Fuck. Anyways, any more? Oh, whatchamacallit? So is this your favorite Ghibli film or what?
No, it's Porco Rosso.
Porco Rosso. That's right.
We're gonna cover it.
Oh, I know. I'm aware now. I was gonna say this is my favorite Ghibli film.
Are you gonna go home and tell Haley like?
No, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave
Let her-
it.
let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Second
Yes.
week of November,
Fuck yeah.
she's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" You guys talked a lot about Porco Rosso, but yeah. Anyways, this is my favorite Ghibli film. Me and Haley even cosplayed as the characters at Dragon Con once. I was actually Princess Mononoke, and she
Nice.
was Ashitaka. Yeah, I've got the mask at home.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie. My second favorite though.
Yeah.
As the Wind Rises. You should check it out.
I haven't seen that. Is that the one about the guy that makes the planes?
Yep. It is so
heard-
good.
Yeah.
The moral, like the overarching thing is, what happens when your love for something is exploited by the wrong type of people?
I know exactly because I know the premise of the movie already,
Yeah.
so I know exactly what that's what you're saying there.
It's fucking great. It's a great movie.
I think this is my second favorite. Though,
Okay,
right
yeah.
after Porco Rosso.
Yeah, it's really good. It's
But
exciting.
I've only seen a handful, so yeah.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Nothing has been able to top it. Like
Yeah.
I love Nausicaa. I think Nausicaa is really cool, but Nausicaa also is like got giant bugs in it, so it's right up my alley.
Oh, yeah.
Nausicaa was my second favorite until I saw As the Wind Rises in theaters, and
Yeah.
that movie is really good.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have like a little trivia thing for me?
I had a little segment, and
Oh.
hang on, I gotta pull it up.
That's okay. Anyway, so while you're pulling it up, I too have a fond memory of a portable TV and a game console.
Oh.
But my portable TV was a shitty, like it was a tube one.
Oh yeah, until I was 14, I had a little tiny like 10-inch CRT piece of shit.
Yeah.
And my friends would come over and would look at me like, "You play video games on this all day?"
So I had one of those.
Yeah.
And that's actually what I used in my room when I was, younger.
Yeah.
But I have fond memory of going camping with my dad and my little brother. And we brought the TV, we brought an Xbox, and it rained the majority of the weekend. So we played Soul Calibur 2 in the tent for 2 days straight. And
Hell yeah.
Fucking ruled, dude.
Which version?
The Xbox one. So it had
Spawn.
yeah, we did have Spawn. That's
Yep.
right.
Oh, I know.
That's
If you disagreed, I would have fought you because I know.
I forgot about Spawn because like
Hihachi was on PS2, Link was on the GameCube.
yeah, both me and my brother did not play Spawn, but my brother played a lot of
He was OP.
Necrid.
Also Todd McFarlane designed.
Yes, yeah, it was like
He did Valdo and Necro or Necrid, whatever.
Necrid, yeah.
Yep.
It was fun.
Valdo, that freak.
freaking weirdo, dude. I love that one of his moves that he literally just humps the air.
Yep.
It's fucking great.
Yeah. What a wonderful video game, though.
Yeah.
I have the HD version on the Xbox.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay, I got a little segment,
Okay.
and it is where I open up the Letterboxd app and read a couple funny reviews of the movie we just talked about.
Oh, there we go. Better than trivia. Although I did like the trivia shit. You were like, what movie came out in the 90s?
I'm gonna revamp the trivia segment.
Okay.
It's a long running segment that it's on hiatus right now.
A long run segment.
We did it twice. Okay, user. This is again on the app Letterboxd, which is an app that you can rate and review and catalog movies that you watch. If you're not familiar, it's a very popular app.
Yeah.
I recommend it if you want to rate and review movies, or even just catalog what you have watched and what you want to watch. It's good for even just that. Anyway, user DepressionFan93
Okay. Yes.
gave the film 4 stars and hearted it and said, "If I met a girl who was raised by wolves and hated me, I would also do a bunch of stupid shit to impress her."
He loved the wolf girl in the middle school shirts.
User Karst gave the film 5 stars and said, "Thinking about the 3 dead plants sitting in my apartment right now." And the final review that I'm reading today is by user Sree, that's Sree, gave the film 4 stars and said, "Gaslight, gatekeep, girl wolf."
Yes.
I thought-
Fuck yeah.
I thought you'd appreciate that one.
I did. I love that. It's so good.
Anyway, that's been my Letterboxd segment where I read reviews from Letterboxd.
That was great. Actually, that was fantastic. Yeah, I was gonna make a bunch more like Wolf Girl jokes, but I forgot about it because I actually legitimately like this film.
Yeah.
But you should totally. There's a TikTok meme where there's like 3 or 4 people in a line, and it's a song about wolves, and they all like howl, and I think it's called "We Own the Night," and the chorus starts playing, and they start like fake running. You should totally find that song and put it at the end of this episode.
You know, if I don't get content ID'd for it.
Yeah, but I think it'd be funny. Or you could just, damn, we didn't even talk about the fucking music of this movie.
We didn't.
The main theme of it's like
I was
really
listening to
pretty.
it on the way home too from work today.
It's super pretty. Whoops.
Well, folks, thank you for listening to Debaser. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to us on your podcast app and follow us on social media by searching for @DebaserPod. We also have a YouTube channel, which you can subscribe to. We are looking to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, so please check us out there. I've been Jared Rusk, and my lovely co-host has been Will Taylor. Will, where can people find you, and would you like to plug anything?
You can find me on Instagram at pocket_infinity. Also made a Threads thing, but I don't ever go there, so it's fine. We got a bunch of people that joined our shitty little guild on Tacticus, but they're probably all bots. So shout out to the bots. Thank you so much.
Are they bots? Some of them are definitely real
Some of them
people.
don't fight the fucking bosses.
They could just be players that didn't.
They don't do the fucking guild raids.
Yeah.
So I'm calling you out, bots.
Well, we can kick them out if they're not going to play.
I don't know. There was like one other thing. So this should be coming out the week before the Grand Narrative in Atlanta. That's going to be my next and last event for the year for Warhammer. This is the one where, so I'll be in the Atlanta area on the 18th. Or before that at least. But this is the one where we dress up all the rooms to be themed.
You guys really go all out for this.
We go all out. I'm going to be dressed up as a character. We're going to have all sorts of crazy shit. The World Championship is also going to be there. We're going to have, no shit, I think 40 different countries represented for the World Championship to see which country is the best at 40K, which is fucking awesome.
The Olympics of Warhammer.
Yeah. It's going to be a great time. If you haven't gotten a ticket but want to see what stuff is like, drop by, man. Let me know. I'll fucking show you around while I'm sweating my dick off in a costume. But it was the coolest thing I did last year, and it's going to be fucking awesome this year.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, check that out. That's November 18th, I think you said.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a wrap. Good night, everybody.
Plant a tree, please.
Yes. And, date your local wolf girl.
She needs an alpha.